Well, hello from, I really can't say sunny California because it really isn't sunny. Partly cloudy, but it's cool here. I'm in the Bay Area. It did make it to San Francisco. Technically speaking, right now I'm in Alameda, California, which is on the other side of San Francisco Bay, and I gotta tell you, I am absolutely exhausted. Didn't have any problems at any of the airports that I went to, but the Roanoke to Atlanta flight, that lasted about an hour 10 minutes. That's no problem. Atlanta to San Francisco, 5 hours and 20 minutes. I'm not sure I ever want to do that again. And I was even in first class. I did the first class flight because if you fly more than 2.5 hours, it pays to do the first class because you're guaranteed a meal, you're guaranteed comfortable seating, and you're guaranteed to be taken care of. You want a drink? No problem. It's free. You pay the extra money so that you can get your drink. Hell, they'll give you alcohol for free. You can get plastered on a Delta Airlines flight and all's fine with the world. You know, nobody's going to complain. Nobody's going to ask you for a credit card. If you're in first class, they'll give you what you want. But God, 5.5 hours for anybody that has never flown before. You could do an experiment with me, and comedian Lewis Black basically said this, and honest to God, it is true. If you fly from coast to coast, a good way to compare that to a real-life situation is to take your hands like this, put them on the side of your head, and squeeze tightly, and don't stop. If your flight is 5.5 hours like mine was, squeeze your head for 5.5 hours, and then what you also need to do is you need to take a paper bag. Just take a paper bag, put it over your face, and breathe in your own air over and over and over and over and over again. That's basically what a 5.5 hour flight is like. It is just, like a stress test that's gone out of control. So you got to do first class, you know, because if you're in coach, then you're sitting there and it's like you got scoliosis because, you know, you can't move. Everybody's crunched in like sardines, and it's miserable in first class. It's just wrong on so many levels in coach. So, you know, anybody that's planning on a long trip, do the first class. Don't worry about coach. But God, all that flying, I am exhausted. 3.5 it's a 3-hour time difference between Eastern and Pacific time zones. So right now it's about 6 o'clock, well, 6:30 Eastern time, Sunday evening. So it's 3:30 Pacific. I am ready for bed. I'm not going to lie to you. I could go to sleep right now with absolutely no problem, but if I would, then I'd be up at midnight, and that would just not be good. So I've got to somehow do something to force myself to stay awake. Tomorrow, it's going to rain. Tuesday, it's going to rain here in the Bay Area too, but I have been told that no matter what the weather, my friend that I'm out here visiting in California, he's got a boat. He and she, they have a boat, and we're going to go sailing, San Francisco Bay, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be cool and wet tomorrow, but that's fine. Well, that's the plan. We're still going to go out and do that tomorrow. So I will be taking the camera with, and hopefully we'll get a video or two on of not only me and the boat, but I'll introduce you to the person that basically got me started in broadcasting when I lived back in Great Falls. And also his significant other. Hope to get both of those on camera, both of them on camera too. Tuesday is supposed to be basically the tour of San Francisco. Now, I've never been here in San Francisco, so this is definitely a different experience for me, and I'm looking forward to being able to take the camera along and show you some of the sights as I'm seeing them for the first time. So expect several videos, not only over the next couple of days, but over basically the next week, because after California, I will actually fly up to my old hometown of Great Falls, Montana. First time I've been there since I've left, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what's new and exciting around Great Falls, and of course I'll be taking the camera with for that too. So that's just a little bit of sample of things you can expect over the next several days into about the next week. So just praying that the big one does not hit while I'm out here. Of course that would suck. I flew into San Francisco earlier today, and my friend picked me up at the airport and drove me across the longest bridge I have ever been on, and believe me, I was breathing very nervously because, of course, if the big one hits and I'm on this 10-mile long bridge, I'm dead. I don't swim very well. My body, look at me. You wouldn't think that this would float, and trust me, it doesn't. Thankfully, the big one didn't hit while I was on the bridge, so that's definitely some good news if I can even think straight, which right now again, am just absolutely exhausted. But anyway, I'm here in San Francisco. It's going to be an interesting next couple of days. Cross your fingers that the big one does not hit. Unless you don't like me, then you want the big one to hit and kill me. That's your business. But hopefully, for my sake at least, I don't want it to. It can hit Wednesday after I'm gone. Sorry for the people that live out here, but I don't want to have anything to do with it. So, over the next few days, San Francisco, you'll get a tour and have some fun, and after that it's off to Great Falls to wrap up this week, so expect several videos here posted on YouTube and also linked on Facebook at facebook.com/HersheyNative1 and youtube.com/HersheyNative1. Check either one of those out and check out the vids.